On a quiet February morning in 2020, a young black man went for a jog in his neighborhood, just like he always did. But what should have been an ordinary run turned into a horrifying chase that shocked America and reignited the fight against racial violence. Before we go deeper, pause for a second. Hit that subscribe button right now, because these are the stories that can't be forgotten, and your support helps us keep exposing the truth. This is the story of Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old who lost his life in a crime fueled by racism, paranoia, and hate. Ahmaud Arbery was young, full of energy, and passionate about fitness. Friends described him as humble and lighthearted, with a smile that could light up a room. On February 23, 2020, in Brunswick, Georgia, he slipped on a plain white t-shirt, black athletic shorts, and his running shoes. Then he stepped outside for what was supposed to be a peaceful jog. But that morning, two white men, Gregory McMichael and his son Travis McMichael, saw Ahmaud running and assumed the worst. Gregory, a 64-year-old former police officer, and Travis, 34, were armed and sitting in their pickup truck. They believed, without proof, that Ahmaud was connected to a string of burglaries. And instead of calling the police, they decided to chase him down themselves. A third man, William Roddy Bryan, 50 years old, joined in with his own truck, recording the entire incident on his phone. That video would later become the evidence that shook the nation. Ahmaud noticed he was being followed. Imagine the fear pulsing through his body as the truck revved behind him. He sprinted harder, but the men cut him off, blocking his path like hunters trapping prey. On a narrow residential road, Travis McMichael got out of the truck holding a shotgun. Gregory stayed in the back with his pistol, while Bryan boxed Ahmaud in from behind. Ahmaud tried to dodge, running around the truck, but Travis swung at him. A struggle broke out. Unarmed, outnumbered, and terrified, Ahmaud fought with his bare hands against a shotgun. 3 blasts rang out. The final shot tore into him. Ahmaud collapsed face-first on the asphalt, his white t-shirt stained red. The men didn't call for help. They stood over his body, and the world may never have known what happened, if not for Bryan's phone recording. At first, no arrests were made. Local police and prosecutors hesitated, citing Gregory McMichael's past as a law enforcement officer. For weeks, Ahmaud's family cried for justice, but the case went nowhere. Then the video leaked. It spread across social media like wildfire. Millions watched in horror as the truth was exposed. Ahmaud Arbery had been hunted down in broad daylight for nothing more than jogging while black. The outrage was instant. Protests erupted nationwide, alongside chants of "Justice for Ahmaud." Civil rights leaders compared his killing to lynchings of the past. Ordinary Americans ran 2.23 miles in his honor, symbolizing the date of his death, February 23rd. Finally, pressure forced authorities to act. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation took over the case. Within days, Gregory and Travis McMichael, along with William Bryan, were arrested and charged with murder. The video became the centerpiece of the trial. Jurors watched as Ahmaud struggled for his life. They heard how the men never saw him commit a crime, and they saw how racism and vigilante justice combined to end a young man's life. In November 2021, all 3 men were convicted of murder. In 2022, they were sentenced to life in prison. Ahmaud's mother wept in court, saying she had finally seen justice for her son. But nothing could bring him back. The case changed Georgia law. The state repealed its citizens' arrest statute, once used to justify the chase. And it became a turning point in America's reckoning with racial violence. Ahmaud Arbery's story is a tragic reminder. A simple jog should never be a death sentence. But his name lives on, carried by those who continue to demand justice. If you believe these stories must never be buried, if you believe Ahmaud Arbery's life mattered, subscribe right now. Because silence protects the killers, but truth honors the victims.